Guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. We are officially kicking off end of the year videos. I'm super excited because I not only love this time of year, but I also love filming and watching videos like this. And because so many of my end of the year videos are favorites videos and focused on products that I love and would recommend, I thought it would be fun if we kicked off this end of the year series with a video not focused on favorites, but instead products I would not recommend. So I'm going to be talking about all of the products that really disappointed me this year. I either purchased them and regret it, or I got them in PR and just wasn't impressed. Maybe it's a product that went viral and I just didn't feel it actually was worth the hype, or maybe it's just something that didn't quite work for me when I was really hoping it would. Whatever the exact reason may be, I will be explaining all of that in this video. I have tons of products to talk through across all beauty categories: hair care, skincare, makeup, body care. So without further ado, let's talk about the products from 2023 that I would not recommend purchasing. Okay, some of these products I do have to like hold up and show you guys. Others I have either recycled, given away, or just gotten rid of in some way or another because of the fact that, of course, I didn't love them. Two makeup removers I was really disappointed by. The first is a drugstore option. I think this was actually in my first What's New at the Drugstore of 2023 videos. It is the Neutrogena Cleansing Balm, and this just isn't good. I'm fine with a texture that doesn't feel incredible if it does a really good job at removing my makeup, but this actually feels granuly. Like I can feel little gritty granules in it. And when I told you guys that I had that experience with this, I was like, maybe it's just like a malfunction in this, maybe I got a bad one, but so many of you left comments saying that you had the exact same experience, and I also saw several reviews saying the same thing as well. So not for me. And I decided to put this next product in this video, not because it's a terrible product, but because it is so hyped up on social media, and I just didn't think it was anything special based on all of the claims. Like I feel like this right here, which is the Cose Softy Mo Speeding Cleansing Oil, is one of the most raved about cleansing oils on the internet, and because of that, I had really high hopes. But unfortunately, this is something that I feel like I actually have to work a little bit harder with on eye makeup. It's just not one of those cleansing oils for me that like easily swipes away my mascara and other makeup I have on my eyes, and while I don't have to like tug and tug and tug, it's also not as great as some of my favorite cleansing oils for me. I wish I loved it though, because this packaging is so freaking cute. The Rhode Glazing Milk. This launched this year and I was super excited to try it out because I think we all know at this point that Hailey Bieber has kind of, I don't know, like self-proclaimed that she has glazed donut skin, and she's really known for having just like hyper glowy skin. So I thought that this was going to be a product that really just made your skin look juicy. So I was actually pretty surprised by the texture of it at first. Despite it being called a milk, I still thought it was going to feel like extra slippy and silky, and it just didn't feel that way. It just kind of feels like a standard like in between essence and serum, and once applied to my skin, it definitely did add a glow, but it wasn't anything spectacular, and it definitely wasn't anything near what I was expecting. So not a bad product, doesn't have bad ingredients, just didn't wow me. Next, oh my god, you guys, the SK2 Facial Treatment Essence. I have officially finished up the entire large size bottle. I actually think they have at least one or two more that are bigger than this, but this is one of the bigger options, which means that it was so pricey. And I told you guys a few months ago that I was going to be testing this out in both of my skincare routines, and I would let you know if I thought it was worth the hype. And I'm here to let you know that I do not. To be completely honest, I just did not see any difference in my skin after using an entire bottle of this. I did post this video over on Instagram Reels and TikTok, so you may recognize it from either of those platforms, but I was trying to see if there was any sort of visible difference in the fine lines on my forehead after using this. And like I said in that video, I just don't think I see any difference at all. And on the product page for this essence on the SK2 website, they do show a before and after with a serious improvement in wrinkles and lines. So, I mean, to me, that tells me that that's supposed to be a benefit that you can see in using this product, and unfortunately I didn't. Obviously, I do not have extreme wrinkles or fine lines, and I know that my skin was in a really good place prior to starting this treatment, so I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm not saying that it won't work for you. I'm just saying that for me, given where my skin already was and all of the products that I already use in my routine, like tretinoin, red light therapy, things that are very potent, this is just not something that push the needle further. I didn't see any further improvement in my skin by adding this. So therefore, I'm certainly not going to be repurchasing it, and I just don't think it's worth it if you're already using products like I am and your skin's already in a great place. If that's the case, stick with that. Maybe don't go for this. I have two moisturizers that I thought I was really going to love, but I just really didn't. The first is from Summer Fridays. It is their Rich Cushion Cream Ultra Plumping Moisturizer, which is a relatively recent launch. And the texture of this is absolutely incredible. It literally feels, oh my gosh, like a rich cushion cream on your skin. It's so velvety, it's soft. I love applying this, but this just does not give me long-lasting moisture. Every single time that I applied it at night, I would wake up the next morning and my skin would feel tight, like I needed moisturizer. And that means that a moisturizer is an automatic no for me, because my good moisturizers will leave me so moisturized overnight that I wake up the next morning and my skin is glowing and looks like I still have moisturizer freshly applied. The other moisturizer that, oh my goodness, I honestly hated. There's not that many beauty products that I feel like I hate, and this is one of them. It's the Future Wise Slug Balm, and this is so greasy. It feels like straight up oil, and when I looked into the ingredients, I actually don't think they're on this tub, but I remember finding that vegetable oil was one of the first ingredients on the back of the label, and I was like, oh, well, that makes sense, because it literally feels like you're putting vegetable oil on your skin. So I would not go for this. If you are looking for something to be moisture locking and occlusive, which they have called out on the label, there are so many better options. I will list some of my favorite moisturizers below. One I can think of off the top of my head is the Kopari Moisture Whipped Ceramide Cream. That is incredible, feels amazing, gives me great results. None of the greasiness of this. Sunscreens. Oh my gosh, I tested out so many sunscreens this year, just like I feel like I do every year. I put up a lot of sunscreen content. I will make sure to list those videos below, along with anything that's related to one of the products that I talk about. So for example, the first sunscreen fail was in a video where I reviewed a bunch of new drugstore sunscreens. So I'll list that below. Actually, all of these were in videos. I had a video where I tested out 9 new Asian sunscreens, and I did a tinted sunscreen showdown. Wait, was that in this one? I did a drugstore tinted sunscreen showdown. I'll list that. This might have been when I tested out new US sunscreens. I can't remember for sure. I'll just list everything for you. So the first fail is the Naturium UV Reflect Antioxidant SPF 50. I was so excited to try this out because of the way it was marketed. I feel like it really seemed to cater towards those with oily skin. It was really liquidy and runny in the looks of the sunscreen. I don't know why I said that like that. It looked very liquidy and runny and lightweight in the videos that they put out promoting this product before it launched, and it definitely is very liquidy, runny, and lightweight, but it feels greasy. It's just one of those sunscreens that feels like oil when you're rubbing it onto your skin, and it's just not a pleasant application experience. So that was a huge bummer. It also definitely left my face looking shiny, so because of that, not one I wanted to wear ever again. Another I didn't want to wear ever again, but for completely different reasons, is the Make Prem UV Defense Me No Sebum Sun Cream. When applying this feels amazing. It's silky, it's velvety, it's different from other Asian sunscreens that kind of have that Naturium-like texture where they are more like, liquidy and runny in consistency. This is like a soft, lightweight, velvety lotion, and I really enjoy applying it, but it leaves such a white cast. Another that I was so disappointed by is the First Aid Beauty Weightless Liquid Mineral Sunscreen. This one, similar to Naturium, feels so greasy. I absolutely was grossed out applying it. And this is another one of those products that I feel like is really polarizing, because some of you really love this and didn't feel that way at all, but others definitely agreed with me and felt that this just was too greasy and not something that was enjoyable to apply. All right, let's wrap up skincare fails with lip products. First is a chapstick that I am so sad about. I think I showed this to you guys in a haul, potentially, and I told you I purchased it because of the smell. It is the Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Kiss Cupachu Lip Butter. It just it smells like vanilla. It's really nice and light and sweet. I love the smell. But this doesn't do jack heck for my lips. It feels nice when I initially apply it, but it's one of those that almost immediately after goes super thin and does not give me any sort of long-lasting moisture whatsoever. And I tried to just keep using it because I really enjoyed the experience of smelling it while I was applying it, but I was like, I have to reapply this thing literally every 3 minutes. Well, that's dramatic, but I just had to reapply it way too often to make my lips feel okay. I'm one of those people that cannot deal with my lips not feeling conditioned. Like, I need them slathered at all times, so this just wasn't gonna work. Ugh. You guys, the Lanolips ointment, I used these in a video where I tested out a bunch of new drugstore skincare and makeup. I did a first impression try on, and I really loved this at first. It felt very nice. It's thick, it's cushy, but these make my lips hurt real bad. These really irritate my lips, I would say within like 20 minutes of having them on. And I was like, what the heck is going on? I've never had a lip product do that. I realized it's because they have lanolin in them. And that's not something that I knew was going to irritate my lips, but I have definitely had an allergic reaction to lanolin on my skin before. What is the product that has it? It's like Aquaphor. I put Aquaphor all over my face back during COVID. I was getting a lot of dry irritation on my skin from wearing face masks, and I broke out in a horrible rash from it. So that's when I realized that my skin does not like lanolin, but I don't know, I just wasn't thinking about that with these products. Obviously, they're called Lanolips, so like I should have known that they have lanolin, but I wasn't really thinking about it. And then once I realized that that's the primary ingredient, I was like, okay, so I know for sure lanolin's not for me. I know that not everyone has an issue with lanolin, so if you know that you don't, I do think that these are really nice. Otherwise, if you do, definitely skip, which you probably already did based on the name. I just wasn't paying attention. A lip mask, well, it's called a gloss balm, that I was bummed by is from Glow Recipe. It is the Plum Plump Hyaluronic Gloss Balm. It does definitely feel nice, but it's just not conditioning enough for my lips. I feel like it's on and I'm like, oh yeah, that feels good. And then shortly after I'm like, this just definitely doesn't do as much as my favorite lip products. Not nearly as much as my Vaseline Lip Therapy, and the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask I find is much more effective than this one for me. So if you were torn between this one and the Laneige mask, I would go for that for sure. And last but not least, well, kind of least because I didn't like it, is the Jizu Honey Infused Lip Oil. This packaging is so cute and funky. Look at the waves. Love it. So this, I will say, is not false advertising. This is a lip oil. It's an oil that you apply on your lips, but not in the way that you would. That didn't make any sense. It doesn't feel the way that lip oils do right now. Like everything that's marketed as a lip oil, for the most part, it doesn't feel like a straight up oil, like a vegetable or an olive oil on your lips. It feels like, I don't know, like a plushy, cushy, balmy, glossy oil hybrid. This literally just feels like you're putting olive oil on your lips, and it smells intensely of oil. No, thank you. Okay, I actually only have one body care item to share, so let me just do that now before we move on to the next category. And that is the Bondi Sands Technicolor Emerald for a deep olive tone 1 hour express self-tanning foam. I included this in my last self-tan showdown, so if you would like to see what this looks like after it's developed and hear my in-depth thoughts on this compared to a bunch of other self-tanners, that video is listed for you in the description box below. But overall, I would say that this just didn't get nearly as dark as I was hoping it would. And it faded super, super quickly for me, so not long lasting at all, especially compared to a lot of the other tanners in that video. Fail! Okay, let's do makeup next. For foundation, I finally got around to trying the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Liquid Foundation because I did a video where I reviewed everything that the brand had launched so far and let you know my thoughts and how everything worked for me. And while this product looked beautiful on my skin at first, it was just something that looked so greasy on me by the end of the day. So it wasn't one that I reached for ever again. I gifted it away to, I don't know who ended up taking it, a sister, a friend, my mom, somebody took it because I was not gonna wear it again. It was so greasy. The Fenty Beauty Eavesdrop Blur and Smooth Tint Stick also did not work for my skin. Again, it looked amazing at first, but as the day went on, the coverage definitely started to break up and it just didn't hold up on my skin in terms of longevity. Concealer. If you watched my concealer showdown, you know that I actually had a lot of concealer fails this year. But the one that I think just really did not work for me me at all and like stood out the most in that way is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Concealer. And I don't even think that I actually gave this last place in that showdown because it still held up fine compared to some of the others. There were some that really broke up and creased on me. But for my personal makeup preferences, I feel like this is just a huge no. It basically gives me no coverage and the shades were so difficult to color match. A set and pout a fail is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. And the reason why this is a fail is because it irritates the crap out of my eyes. This is very heavily fragranced and I'm guessing that's what causes so much irritation for me because I never have this problem with powders. It smells like perfume. Every time I had this on under my eyes were just watering all day long and I felt like I was constantly like pushing at them and they felt uncomfortable and itchy, and it was definitely to the point where I was like, I can't wear this anymore. It's that uncomfortable. Nar from me. Lots of lip products to talk about, but a lot of them I'm going to talk about in groups because they kind of like grouped together. You'll see. First are some Kylie Jenner lip products. I think I had one other type of, maybe even two. I think I had a couple other lip products from her that I also wasn't super impressed by, but these stood out the most as just being like actual fails for me. First is the Gloss Strip Lip Gloss. I thought that these shades were really, really pretty, but the actual texture and feel of them is just really sticky and thick and goopy on the lips. And I feel like this is something that I would have loved back when I loved the Victoria's Secret Beauty Rush lip glosses, because it's like giving me that. I don't know, I just feel like lip products have evolved so much since those days that a formulation like this just like does not cut it when there's so many other amazing options. The other product that I just was not impressed by at all is the Kylie Skin Lip Oil. I just feel like these are way too lightweight, they're not conditioning enough, they're not cushy enough, and they don't give me that amazing shine that I get from my favorite lip oils. Two other lip oil fails. One was last place in my lip oil showdown. It is the Rem Beauty Lip Oil in Mint Condition. Oh my God. This has got to be the worst lip oil I've ever tried because not only does it not actually even have oil in it, and not only does it not benefit my lips in the sense that it like doesn't last a long time and it doesn't feel super conditioning, it actually dries out my lips. So I would avoid that one at all costs. Another that wasn't nearly as bad as that, but I feel like I was more disappointed by, is the new e.l.f. lip oil. I feel like they have launched so many. Did my eyes just roll back in my head? I feel like they've launched so many incredible products over the past year. They are just on fire. So I thought that this lip oil was going to be absolutely incredible, but it just wasn't amazing for me. It didn't last a super long time. It wasn't super conditioning. I don't know, just definitely fell flat, and given everything that e.l.f. has been able to create, I had much higher expectations for this product. I am so sad about these. These are the new Rhode lip tints. They finally came out with 4 tinted versions of their peptide lip treatment, and the shades are absolutely beautiful. Like, should I put one on right now? So pretty. Why'd I do that when it feels like sand? These just feel completely gritty. And I'm so bummed because I feel like they have said time and time again that they have solved that issue. They fixed it. They like pinpointed the problem. It's not a problem anymore. It was a problem for me with these lip tints, and I'm so sad because they just really nailed the colors. I feel like it was a great start in terms of the types of colors that they came out with. I was excited to see the other shades that they would launch in the future, but I just don't understand how they can't fix that issue given that this is a product that has been around for a long time at this point. And given the fact that it's a brand owned by Hailey Bieber, like, I don't know, I would have to imagine that they have the funds to get to the bottom of something like this, but the fact that they continue to sell it when clearly the issue is still outstanding is such a bummer. And I know not everybody has that issue with these lip tints. I have several lip peptide treatments from Rhode that are not tinted that didn't give me that gritty issue. It just seems really inconsistent. Like, sometimes you get lucky and other times you don't, and in this case, I didn't get lucky. You guys know I am so picky about mascara. I am actually in the process of gathering all of my footage for my next mascara showdown, which is actually going to be a high-end mascara showdown. This is another product that was so hyped up over the past year. It went completely viral on TikTok, and I feel like I just was seeing it everywhere and everyone seemed to be obsessed with it. It is the Give Can't Stop Staring mascara, and this just fell flat in a lot of different areas for me. I felt like my lashes looked a little bit too spidery, they were too clumpy, they didn't have enough volume. So overall, just another product that I had high hopes for because of everything I was hearing on social media, but in the end, it fell flat. All right, let's wrap up makeup with a few brow fails. I have pretty much the exact same thing to say about all of these products, and it is that they just did not do enough for my brows. They all claim to give you major long-lasting hold, be the kind of product that can kind of give you that laminated brow effect, and for me and my sparse, fine, non-existent brow hairs, they just didn't do that. So the first is the Schwarzkopf Got to Be Glued for Brows and Edges Gel. The second is the Benefit Fluff Up Brow Wax. And the third is the Patrick Ta for Brows Major Brow Lamination Gel. Not for me. Not a single one. All right, y'all, let's wrap up this video with hair care. I don't have any of these shampoo and conditioner sets to hold up and show you guys. I am trying to be a lot better about getting rid of things like this that I know I'm not going to use. And the first of the shampoo and conditioner sets that I do not have to show you, but I did not like, is the Amika Hydro Rush shampoo and conditioner. And it's actually not just the shampoo and conditioner, it's this entire line of products. So they also have a leave-in conditioner, a hair mask, and none of it worked for me. I just didn't find this set to be detangling or conditioning enough. It is a set that promotes the fact that it's free from silicones, and my favorite line from them, which is the Cure, does have silicones included. So I'm not saying that that's the only reason why, but that's my suspicion. JVN is a brand that I did a deep dive on earlier this year, and in general, I just was not impressed by any of their shampoo and conditioner sets. I didn't think there was anything spectacular about any of them, and while I definitely wouldn't say that they're bad products, they also were not products that I wanted to keep in my collection. It's a 10 Miracle Charcoal is a line that I was really excited to try out. I thought it was going to be something that did a great job at clarifying because of the fact that it is promoted for scalp health and includes charcoal. But I actually wasn't impressed with any of the products in this range, and the shampoo especially was a bummer because that just did not really give me a good enough cleanse at all, even compared to my non-clarifying shampoos. So this one was a no for me. The Aveeno Apple Cider Vinegar Shampoo and Conditioner. I would say the shampoo was definitely more of a no than the conditioner. The conditioner was fine. I didn't have any big problems with it, but compared to my favorite drugstore conditioners, it definitely just wasn't quite up there. The shampoo is what just like especially fell flat for me. Again, I thought that this was going to do an amazing job at cleansing because of the fact that apple cider vinegar is the main ingredient that they're highlighting in this line, but it's one of those shampoos that does not give me a good enough cleanse and makes my hair look greasy shortly after using it. The L'Oreal Everpure Simply Clean Sheer Oil was a huge fail for me. I was super excited to try it. It definitely has coconut oil amongst others. I can't remember off the top of my head, but amongst other oils that I was excited about being in that specific formulation, but this was just so heavy, almost sticky and greasy and really unpleasant. And I was really surprised by that because L'Oreal is a brand that I feel like I can consistently count on at the drugstore. They are one that I consider to be top tier for sure. And this one was like so bad that I was like, what happened? The K18 Molecular Repair Hair Oil came out this year and I was very excited to try it out, but unfortunately it doesn't do it for me. One of the biggest issues that I have with this is the fact that you have to use it on wet hair in order to get the damage repair benefit, and I feel like a lot of people don't realize that. And given the fact that this is like $75 for this tiny oil, I think that that's really important to know. But even when used in the correct way, I feel like this is just not a super impressive oil for me. I had to use a lot of it in order for me to actually see a visible difference in the level of shine in my hair. And not only do I not want to do that because it's $75, but I also just don't want to do that, period. Like, I'd rather just use a few pumps of an oil and feel like that does the trick, and that's all I have to use with my favorite oils. So you guys know I normally love K18 products, but this is not one of those. My last two products are heatless curl products. This one right here, I believe is from Kitsch. I'm almost 100% positive. And at first I was excited about this because it's super, super flexible. And I thought that that was just gonna make it a lot more comfortable while still giving me great results. But because it's like so flexible, I found that this just never really worked on my hair. I never ended up with good results. I would have really uneven, inconsistent waves in some places, never really curls. My hair just always looked wonky as heck when I used this. And these I think are actually from Kitsch as well. I was so excited to try these out because these are actually like still flexible, but they maintain this cylindrical shape. So they definitely give you a better result in terms of the actual curl itself. However, if you're not familiar with this, I'll quickly show you. You're supposed to take smaller sections of your hair and like wrap it. And then when you're done, that was a fail. I know that's not how you're supposed to do it. And then when you're done with it, to hold it in place, you're supposed to like do this. Okay, that was a really bad demonstration, but hopefully you get the trick. And while that seems great in theory, when you actually do it, at least for me, I found it to be so uncomfortable because they would like flop down and pull on my hair, which is not only uncomfortable, but is also something I would definitely recommend avoiding to make sure that your hair doesn't break off. And so if I didn't want them to be like floppy and pulling down on my roots, I would have to twist them even more. And then that would give me the same kind of issue, but in reverse, where it was pulling really, really hard on the hair, like right here, in order to get it to hold in place. And then aside from all of that, and the fact that it pulls and is tight and uncomfortable, or is loose and uncomfortable in pulling, it's pretty much impossible to sleep in comfortably because of the fact that you have those scattered all over your head. So those are just not for me. When it comes to a heatless curl, I'd way rather use something else. All right, you guys, that is it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that this was kind of a breath of fresh air for you. I know that there's so much content out there these days that just like pushes product down your throat and makes you feel like you absolutely have to buy something right here, right now. And knowing that I have several favorites videos coming up, I just wanted to make sure that I was also mixing things in that, you know, are definitely not favorites and things that I think you can 100% save your money on. So let me know in the comments below if you had a similar experience to me with any of these products, or maybe on the flip side had a totally different experience and really liked something that I didn't like. And as always, if you enjoyed the video and would like to see more from me, please don't forget to give this a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, click on that notification bell, and send my channel to a friend. Thank you so, so much for your support in doing those things. It really does mean a lot to me, so I appreciate it. And thank you for watching my videos. I love the freaking heck out of you guys. Make sure to stay tuned for my next one because that will be up in a few days. But until then, I hope you have a great few days.